Okay, the light is too much. Okay, there we go. If you're not a natural born memorizer, or someone who has a hard time memorizing, then this video is for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, memorization tips and tricks, techniques that'll help you memorize better, faster. Who knows? Maybe you'll become a whiz at memorizing. So, without further ado, let's start with some tips. First of all, obviously you're gonna need your monologues. Like, I have two here. One's highlighted, annotated, one's annotated. I did not highlight it. But your first step is going to be reading your monologue, your script, whatever you're trying to do, but you want to memorize, well, the goal is to memorize this. To start with that, you need to read it. I want you to pause the video, read it through 2 to 3 times don't worry about expressions or reaction or anything. Just read it through. Try to get it into your brain. So, in this case, we're gonna go with this one. This one's in a book that I did. This is from an acting class I did. So this is an acting monologue book. It's hilarious. So just read it normal pace, normal whatever. Don't be too worried about how you're supposed to be yet, because we're trying to get it into your head. I just found my TV remote in the freezer. Ever wonder about those random events that surround your day-to-day existence? Like finding your cell phone in your dog's water bowl, losing your wallet and then realizing it's been in your pants pocket the whole time, or finding the TV remote in the freezer. The real question is, why did these things happen to me? So you don't have to do the entire monologue. Well, actually, you need to do the entire monologue. I'm not doing the entire monologue. Not that it's that much longer. So then what you want to do, now that you've read your monologue through 2 or 3 times, it is time to start sentence by sentence. And this is when, okay, so I'm doing this one. It's already been done, but I'll do it again. Okay, so you're going to take a pencil, not a pen, a pencil, because you can erase anything you write. Take your monologue, and you're going to go through and at breaks, where there's like a comma or a period, something that's a longer sentence, I want you to make a line. So you could do it from any punctuation mark there is. So like a question mark or lines. It's to break up, well in this case, you're going to break up lines so it'll be easier to memorize. Now that you've put dash lines, marks, something to break up lines, you would have shorter things to memorize. Shorter lines. So then you're going to look at the first line all the way to the dash mark. Now, if the first thing was like 3 words, you probably don't need it there. Put it the next one. So this one is, I just found my TV remote in the freezer. Like, you're going to read it every time that you see a dash mark. You're going to read up to that point. So you're going to read from dash mark to dash mark all the way through your monologue. I just found my TV remote in the freezer. You're going to repeat that 3 times. And then you're going to go to the next one. Ever wonder about those random events that surround your day-to-day existence? You're going to say, ever wonder about those random events that surround your day-to-day existence? And you're going to repeat that 3 times. 3 times is a number that gets into your brain that signals that you actually kind of know what you're talking about. 3 is the monologue number, okay? I don't know why. I could look it up. Let's find out. Why do we repeat things 3 times to remember them? Let's go with it. Let's go with a fact, okay? It could be reliability, clarity, emphasis. So it's, okay, so there's your fact. It's basically to help you, it's like reiterating to your brain, hey, I need to remember this. It's important. 3 times. It's repeat something that's significant. And monologue script is significant. You got your next line. So then you're going to go, like finding your cell phone in the dog's water bowl, losing your wallet, and then realizing it's been in your, this is a really long one, realizing it's been in your pants pocket the whole time. Now, there is a line break. So we're going to do that because that's a really long line. So then, once you repeat your entire monologue, line, 3 times, I want you to take a pencil. This is why you needed a pencil. You're going to erase the one between the first line and the first word and that second dash mark. You're going to erase that first dash mark that you ever made. So now, I just found my TV remote in the freezer. Ever wonder about those random events that surround your day-to-day existence? So now you're going to repeat that 3 times. It's a long process to memorize, but I promise it does help. Highlighting can help, but I would not highlight until you're ready to dive into your character. And I would wait until you've got your pretty good memorization. That'll be a whole nother video on how to dive into a character's words. Now that we are memorized, we got this pretty memorized, okay, so you got most of it. You're like, okay, well, I can sit here all day long, but it's not gonna help me. You're right, it's probably not. Just forget it. Who needs memorization, right? The other tip, here's a technique, okay? Block while you say your lines. Okay, doesn't always work, especially if you're in a video audition, you know, you got this much room. It's like, not much. You're literally like this. So, in that case, what you're gonna do is you're going to walk, okay? So, this is you. You are a pencil, okay? You are a yellow pencil. If I'm not mistaken, it is a Ticonderoga pencil, and I don't know where I got this. Okay, so we're gonna just stick with the same monologue because that's the one you are currently memorizing. Okay, so you are a pencil. You're the pencil moving. Okay, so just like I had you guys do the dash marks for your lines, that's what you're gonna do here. Okay, so keep the dash marks on if you want to change it, or you can add them back, or just do this based on where punctuation is. So you're gonna walk. I just found my TV remote in the freezer, and at that stop, that period, comma, end of sentence, question mark, exclamation, whatever punctuation is there, you're going to turn, and you're going to be, ever wonder about those random events that surround your day-to-day existence? And you're going to turn again. Like finding your cell phone in the dog's water bowl, and then turn. Every time there's a punctuation mark, you're going to turn. And you don't have to make a square. You can't make a circle because circle has no, like, corner, no points. You can make a star. You can make a square. You can make a bunch of straight lines that lead to nowhere. Just walk and turn. Pivot. Not even turn. You don't want to fully turn. You just want to pivot 90 degrees every single time because it'll get your brain and your feet moving. Your feet moving because it's good for you. Your brain moving because you're remembering things. And so you're less focused. Now, I wouldn't suggest doing the walking until you know parts of your monologue because your brain is going to be doing your monologue while you're really focused on not running into anything. So then your brain is going to be like, I just found my TV remote in the freezer. Ever wonder about those random events that surround your day-to-day existence? Like finding my cell phone in my dog's water bowl. So by doing that, you're going to like make a better little square. It's going to be better for your thinking, your memorizing, and your monologue. And that goes for anything you're memorizing. A script, a monologue, a scene, anything. It's going to be the same thing. Make your little hash marks so that way you can memorize a little bit at a time. And then once you've got into the memorizing it part, that's when next week's video will come in handy. But until then, I'm not going to tell you about next week's video, except that it's going to help you dive into your monologue, your scene, your script, whatever, your character, okay? That may not be next week. We'll see. I hope this helped you guys. I really do. See, the reason why I give memorization tips is because I memorize very quickly. I'd rather research and tell you guys how to memorize and give you tips and show you practical advice on how I memorize rather than just not tell you guys how to memorize and then you guys have to figure it out on your own. And clearly, I use my own tips. I don't just give you tips and then not use them. Like, well, today I did hash marks, but I've done them before because I literally had one that was crossed that I erased because it was a part of a memorizing. Part of me memorizing things. Because yes, I may be a quick learner, but I'm not that quick. I did show you guys in 2 weeks ago's video the walking while saying your lines thing, except I just did back and forth. I don't suggest that unless you want to, but otherwise I'd go walk, pivot, walk, pivot, walk, pivot, walk until you get to the point where you don't need to make a let's just go with a square as an example. So that way you don't have to make a square. So you can just walk back and forth and say your lines until you get to the point where you're walking shorter distances. So if you were walking like from here to here, and then you suddenly started to memorize more, so you were able to walk to here, and then here, and then here. Your goal is to not have to really walk to memorize your lines. That's the key here. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Tell me any tips that you use to memorize, and let me know if I left anything out. Also, let me know what types of videos you'd like to see, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!